show me this vision. I'm ending with this. So this is one of the reasons why we're praying. I was sharing with a couple of leaders just yesterday. We were sharing the things that we had heard from the Lord. And this is one of the things that we talked about, that for the next several months, that there is a high alert in the spirit. It's in the natural in some governments as well, but in the spirit, we are on high alert. Intercessors need to be on high alert. Those of you that pray and you cover families, you cover your nation, you need to be on high alert. And you're going to need to be on high alert because of the level of attack that the enemy wants to release against again, cities and nations. I saw in this vision the words state of emergency come. And I saw because of certain attacks that were natural attacks. I'm not even talking about just a spiritual attack. These were natural attacks. It caused a state of emergency. I saw it here in our nation in this vision, and the Lord would not stop showing me that. I continue to see it as I prayed those words again, a state of emergency. And I believe that we're going to come into a period where it will be that. And so we want to continue to pray, and we want to continue to cover. I've given you words time and time again that we've seen the Lord give us the advantage, and we've seen those things happen. From the contaminated water, before we saw water being contaminated in different, before it came out that it was contaminated in different cities throughout the nation. I've given you the word concerning the massive recalls before we saw them coming in mass, and it's still happening right now. Giving you words concerning the collapse of banking institutions before we saw them collapse, and what the Lord told us to do with getting cash on hand. But the Lord said this to me: we're coming into this era of economic shaking where cash on hand will not suffice. Many people will know that have pulled cash out, and they're going to say that the cash is not going to mean anything. So I know, and this is why we have to be careful that we don't regurgitate prophetic words, because when the Lord gives a prophetic word, he gives it for that time, for that season, for that particular period where it's necessary. And in that period, that was necessary. But this is why when we regurgitate words that we hear other people say, if you didn't hear it from God, you don't know what all he said, because there are times that I'm only sharing 20% of what God told me, because he's only telling me to share the 20%. And the rest of it, he's telling me to hold it for a particular time. And if we just become parrots and say a thing that we've heard someone else say, we're going to miss God. But the Lord said to me, there's an era that's coming. Now, this next season where cash on hand will not even be enough, because when certain conditions come, you'll see this happen in the future. Just hold on to this prophetic word. You'll see it happen in the future where people will go to pay with their cash, and they will not accept your cash because of all the devaluing that is coming to the currency, the devaluing that's coming to the currency. Hear me by the Spirit. There is a devaluing that's coming to the currency, and cash on hand is not going to be enough. So you're going to have to be led of the Spirit. But the Bible tells us this: the just shall live by faith.